Got me reminiscing back to when days were great. Got me wishing it was 1988.
Got me reminiscing back to when times were great. Got me wishing it was 1988.
What up, Limesters and hip-hop enthusiasts? Thanks for joining us once again on the Rap Flashback, June 2015 edition. With spring in full effect and summer right around the corner, kids finishing up the school year, and both the NBA and the NHL crowning their respective champions, June is definitely an exciting month. And we're excited to share some choice June dates that have left a large imprint on hip-hop's timeline. Oh yeah, it's also Gemini season. The Geminis have proven to be fantastic MCs over the years, but we'll get to all that later. For now, let's kick things off with album releases. Ready, boys?
Hell yeah!
Let's rock. Word up. We'll kick off the album releases segment this month by showing James Todd Smith, better known as LL Cool J, some love. On June 2nd, 1987, he released his second studio album, Bigger and Deffer. With triple platinum sales to date, this album remains LL's most successful, in large part to tracks like Go Cut Creative Go, as well as the high energy I'm Bad, and hip-hop's first successful love ballad, namely I Need Love. Though 1985's radio put LL on the map, it was Bigger and Deffer that catapulted him into hip-hop superstardom. I personally remember always getting hyped to the I'm Bad video, where amidst the cop chase, mafioso type storyline, LL brilliantly performs his rhymes in the warehouse, jumping around with an infectious energy that leaves no doubt as to how bad he truly is. Love that record. Walking with a Panther, LL's third studio album, is also a June release, on the 13th back in 1989. Though the record peaked at number 6 on the Billboard charts and produced a bevy of hit singles, such as Going Back to Cali, I'm That Type of Guy, Jiggling Baby, my favorite, Big Ol' Buddy. It also included a bunch of ballad tracks, such as One Shot at Love and Two Different Worlds, that weren't received too well by hip-hop purists at the time. To me, that's unfortunate, because I actually like those two tracks, and let's face it, even at that point, LL had been doing love ballad raps for a while. Did people forget I Need Love?
No, Scholar.
Exactly. So again, I never understood some of the hate this album got. I strongly recommend some of you haters go back and listen again. Compared to some of the poor excuses for love-themed rap tracks we hear nowadays, those LL ballads on Walking with a Panther were gems. And that LL could go ballad on one track, hardcore on another, and straight party on the next shows how versatile and talented an MC he is. Salute to LL Cool J, an all-time great and hip-hop's first true solo superstar, in my book. On June 7th, 1994, Warren G released his solo debut, Regulate, G-Funk Era, one of the smoothest records you'll ever hear. To Warren G's stepbrother, the legendary Dr. Dre, is largely credited with pioneering the funk-driven West Coast sound that dominated the 90s and still shines through today. Looking at you, DJ Mustard. Warren G's brand of a more laid-back, smoothed-out G-Funk sound was also very influential and damn good. Tracks like This DJ, my personal favorite, and Do You See are prime examples of how infectious the G-Funk sound can be. No more is Warren G's brilliance captured, however, than on lead single Regulate, where he expertly flipped Michael McDonald's I Keep Forgetting and teamed with Nate Dogg on the vocals to create what's quite simply one of the greatest rap records ever recorded. I mean, do you know anybody who doesn't love Regulate?
No, Scholar.
Exactly. It's pure gold. Truth be told, the track first appeared on the Above the Rim soundtrack earlier that year. But it was definitely the driving force behind the heavy anticipation for Regulate G-Funk Era. It kicks off and remains the best track on an album which debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and would garner 2 Grammy nominations. Yeah, it's more low-key than a lot of the other West Coast rap coming out at the time, but it was fantastic nonetheless. So alright, everybody out there on the interwebs too, say it with me now.
Regulators, mount up!
On June 1st, 1999, Ja Rule released his debut album, Veni Vidi Vici, which is the Italian interpolation of the Latin idiom, Veni Vidi Vici, meaning I came, I saw, I conquered. Whether or not Ja conquered with this album is up for debate, though at the end of the day, I would argue he did. Powered by lead single Holla Holla, the album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and eventually went multi-platinum. Some hated on Ja for the stylistic and sonic comparisons to both Tupac and DMX, but let's face it, at day's end he made a name for himself. Party and Gangsta pretty much defined Ja's first effort. he hadn't yet touched the sing-songy R&B styles that define some of his later works. And at 20 tracks, it's a bit long, but again, Benny Benny Betchy resulted in Ja becoming a strong presence within hip-hop. People like to hate on Ja, and I get it. 50 killed him. Eminem killed him too. He's a wannabe Tupac. He sings too much, he fell off, he went to jail, he turned down the Fast and the Furious, etc. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I personally am not hating on the man. I've seen him perform a few times, and I love his energy on stage. He's got a healthy serving of hits, has sold millions of records, and has some movie roles under his belt as well. He still performs today. Despite some career and life missteps, I'd say it turned out okay for Ja Rule. No?
What up, Gotti?
And to close out the segment, other notable June releases include EPMD's Strictly Business, June 7th, 1981. Big Daddy Kane's Long Live the King, featuring one of the greatest rap tracks ever recorded, Ain't No Half Step, June 21st, 1980. Public Enemy's classic, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, June 28th, 1988. LL Cool J popped up yet again with another June release, 14 Shots to the Dome, June 1st, 1993. The Wu-Tang Clan released their second album, Wu-Tang Forever, on June 3rd, 1997. And last but certainly not least, Conan Noriega's The War Report was released